11.4 is about volumes of prisms and cylinders. The thing that's really nice about volumes is they're all pretty much formula based. It all kind of follows the same thing. Volume equals area of the base times the height. Remember, capital B is the area of the base. Okay, so again, same thing down here. Volume equals area of the base times the height. Now, all this pi r squared is just the area of the base here because it's a circle. Now, problem 1 talks about the volume of the rectangular prism at the right. So again, volume equals capital B, which is area of the base, times the height. What's my base? And here's the thing, it doesn't really matter what the base is. We talked about this all the time. You want to treat this bomb as a base, that's fine. It's a rectangle, it's length times width or base times height or whatever it is. Okay, so you end up with 24 times 20. And then the height, which is 10. Punch in your calculator, you end up with 4,800. Okay, and it's always units cubed, so it's centimeters cubed is your unit. Now here it kind of matters what you're looking at here. Because it's a triangular prism, see how there's two triangles here? That's your base. So you have to find the area of your base times your height. And so finding the area of my base is a little bit of a challenge, but if we kind of blow up the picture here, triangle, I know, terrible. But if you look, there's 8 inches, 8 inches, 8 inches across the side, which means an equilateral triangle. Okay, let me make this a better triangle. Okay, so it's an equilateral triangle. We need this height down the middle. Okay, so again, we have a right triangle. We know this is 8, this is 4. Okay, if we go ahead and use a 60-degree angle here, you can go ahead and find that side right there. Now, that's obviously one way you can do it. Me personally, so I'm not memorizing 36 90-degree triangles, would probably just use Pythagorean theorem. Again, here's our hypotenuse, so I got 8 squared equals, we'll call that h squared plus 4 squared. So we end up with h squared equals, and then just in the calculator, just 8 squared minus 4 squared. That's going to give me 48. Square root h equals the square root of 48. And there really isn't a reason to reduce because we're going to use this to find the area, and we're going to find the area, approximate area, so we're not going to, we're going to end up rounding anyways. So again, to find the area of this triangle, the area is 1/2 base times height. Well, in this case, our base is 8, so the area of the triangle here is 1/2 our base, which is 8, times our height, which is the square root of 48, which we just found. Punch that in our calculator, and I wouldn't quite round yet. Take 1/2 of 8, that's 4, square root of 48, and I would just leave that there. Why? Because our volume is the area of the base, which we found as 4 radical 48, times our height, which in this case, our height's going to be 10, because that's represented by this right there. Okay, so again, punch that all in my calculator, and you get 277.128192, which is approximately 277. And again, we're finding volume, so it's inches cubed. Problem 3 talks about finding the volume of the cylinder. Again, volume equals area of the base times the height. Okay, so there's no difference here, but our base is a circle. That's where they get the pi r squared. Why? Because the area of a circle is pi r squared. So how do we do this? Well, volume equals our area of our base, which is pi, times radius, which is 3 squared, okay, times our height of the cylinder, which is 8. Punch it in the calculator, we end up with 72 pi. Again, in terms of pi, don't hit the pi button. And it's volume, so centimeters cubed. Now, problem 4 talks about the volume of a composite figure. And they want to know what the approximate volume of the bullnose aquarium to the nearest cubic inch. Okay, so again, keywords here, nearest cubic inch means you're rounding. So again, it really doesn't matter. Well, what kind of figures does this make up? Okay, we've got what looks to be a prism here, and then we got what looks to be half a cylinder. So I'm going to break this up into two things. The volume of the prism, again, which is the area of the base times the height. And if I look at that, how do I know what the volume or what the base is here? So if I look at my picture here, I know that if I look at this number here, it's 24, is this whole span right here. Well, that looks like just the diameter of that cylinder there. So the cylinder is going to be, the radius is 12. So from this line out to here looks to be a radius, which is going to be a distance of 12. Okay? So if I take 48 minus 12, that gives me my thing, my base here. So 48 minus 12, which is going to give me 36 inches, is the base of this prism. So the area of my base then is going to be 24 times 36 times my height, which is going to be 24 as well. Okay, punch all that in my calculator, we end up with 20,736. Okay, we want the volume of the cylinder now, but we talked about that. This is half a cylinder, someone will put a half in there. So again, 1/2 area of the base times the height. Well, that's just pi r squared. We talked about the diameter being 12, okay? I'm sorry, the diameter being 24, so our radius is 12, and that's what we're going to use here, squared, times our height. Well, the height's going to be the same. If you look over here, 24 is the height there. It's going to be matched on the other side. So 24 is my height here as well. So again, punch all that in your calculator, round it. We're rounding into the nearest cubic inch here. I'm going to get 5,429. To find the total volume, I'm just going to take this number, add it to this number. So total volume, or volume total, is going to be 20,736 plus 5,429, which is going to equal 26,165 inches cubed.